Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the Ifootage Cobra 2 and the Cobra 2 Strike. These are two new monopods from Ifootage which have some very interesting features, and both of them are designed for video, although you could use them for photography as well. They are very, very beefy. Now, as I've said before with other Ifootage products, the build quality is really, really nice. Both of them come with pretty nice bags which are nicely padded, really nice quality, same as the other Ifootage stuff that I've seen, with the exception of neoprene on one side. It's a less durable material and doesn't look as nice and will get damaged quite easily. So I really don't like that they've added this, and it also means that this is more limited in its sort of opening space. So I'm not a big fan of this bag at this side. The rest of it is fine, really nice, high quality and well padded, but very, very thin padding on the neoprene side. Just one layer of neoprene. They want this to be extendable so that you can fit a fluid head into there, or when you're not using a fluid head, then you can sort of fold this inwards and sort of have this has a little strap with Velcro, so that sort of holds it in place. But that's so unnecessary. I mean, it's an interesting feature. It's interesting that they thought about that, but that just leaves an area with less protection. I've never had a bag that was slightly too long and thought that that was a problem for some reason. This won't fit into the bag this way. This end is just too small. So you have to put the fluid head, the most fragile part of your monopod, into the neoprene. You can see there, that neoprene has already taken damage, even though I haven't used this all that much, and it's really just not giving much protection to the fluid head. So if you really want this and that's an issue, then you could just add some internal padding into there. Now, both the Cobra 2 and the Cobra 2 Strike have tripod feet at the bottom, which work pretty well. They're nice and easy to adjust. You have this button here on the side to adjust them to the various sort of levels. It can stand up on its own. Obviously, you want to stay around it to make sure it doesn't fall, and it will shake around, you know, if there's any wind or anything like that. And if you want to use the feet spread out to maximum, then you have to remove this and put it in your bag or in your pocket. Otherwise, the tripod starts sitting on this and it becomes unstable. And these adjustment locks here on the side are much better quality than most of the other ones I've seen. I like these more than the Manfrotto ones. This has a pretty standard opening and closing mechanism, although much, much more beefy than most other monopods, which is nice. I mean, it feels great and just really beefy and made of aluminium, but it's going to add more weight as well. And on the Strike version, we have a similar mechanism to the Mogopod where you twist and then do that, and that extends that all the way. So basically, when these two change length, this one changes length as well automatically. So you can see that. There is a tiny bit of movement there, but it's not as much as the Mogopod. And it is fairly easy to adjust because you can extend it like this and not actually bend down to make that adjustment. So you don't actually have to bring your body down and hold it here and then extend it, but you can put your foot down on it and just pull on this to make that extension, which means that you never have to bring the camera up too high over your head. So here, for example, the camera would be at roughly my eye level. Now on the Strike version, all the parts look and feel great. And as far as I know, these two also come in a carbon fiber version, which means you'll be saving a little bit of weight and paying a bit more money. And the only exception is this piece here, which is made of plastic, which looks and feels quite cheap. I mean, it looks strong enough, but it just doesn't feel very nice. On the Cobra 2, I don't see any plastic pieces, so that's fine. Pretty easy. You open the latches and lock them again. So that's quite nice, and these feel really, really nice and solid. So I like that. Now, I'm pretty sure there will be different length versions of this. The one I have here is pretty short. It's sort of at my chest height here. So that's, I think, maybe a little too short for some people. And, you know, for most users, I would say probably too short. And then this one here does reach my eye level. Once you've added a fluid head onto it and a camera, so the lens would be about there. Now the lock on the bottom here works pretty well. You can have it really nice and loose so that it can turn in all directions, and you can have it a bit tighter so that it's sort of restricting the movement a bit, or you can have it really, really tight and then it's difficult to move. It won't completely stop it from moving, but won't move much. We have an adjustable pan bar, and we have the lock for the forward back adjustment here. And on this side, we have the actual release, and the plate won't come out of the front. And the plate can slide in both directions, both that way and that way. And the bubble level is glued in incorrectly. So I have the bubble level absolutely perfect in the middle there, and it is just wonky. It's not straight. The fluid head feels like the oil has dried out in the panning mechanism, the left-right direction, and that's really not good. Whether it came out of the factory like that or whether it dried out over time, either way, that's not good. And it's just not going to give you good results if you get one like mine. Okay, so I've locked off the tilt and I'm going to try and do a pan as smooth as I can, and you can see it's just getting stuck. This is at 70 millimeters. It's just sort of getting stuck every so often. Another issue is that this doesn't grip the bottom of the camera very well. So, you know, if you push the camera a tiny bit too hard, the camera is going to sort of move out of position on the plate, and that's not good. The drag, or sort of the resistance of the head, is not adjustable. You have loose, and then unusable, and then locked. So there's nothing in between. And that's both for the tilt direction and the panning direction. This head is pretty compact, and it's only double the price of a usable fluid head. And it looks like we can adjust these for tightness, although I haven't needed to do that. Over here, where normally you'd have foam as the grip, they've put something which I actually like because it looks much more durable. It's sort of somewhere between a plastic and a rubber. The quick release piece under the head here has both a 3/8 inch connection and a 1/4 inch connection. And the Cobra has a pretty interesting disconnection mechanism here at the bottom where you can pull this. And same thing here at the top. I don't know why one of them was getting stuck really bad, but now that I've switched them, they're not getting stuck anymore. This quick release thing does allow you to stack the monopods on top of each other. You know, for those times when you're 12 foot tall and have loads of extra money to spend and you just want to carry extra unnecessary weight. This is for the BFG, the big f***ing giant. Now I guess one advantage of this quick release mechanism on both the top and the bottom is that you could detach the monopod piece and use this as a little tripod, like that. If you remove this, then this can go quite low. And I like that you can screw this directly to the bottom here so that you can use this as just sort of more of a normal monopod without feet. And you can also do this with that attached. You just fold the legs up and have the ball connected to there, and then you can just use it like that if you wanted to. So as a conclusion, the Cobra 2 version is pretty damn good if you want a beefy monopod. I prefer a tripod. So here, for example, I have a tripod that's roughly the same weight as one of these without the fluid head. So then I can use it as a monopod and use it as a tripod, and it takes me a few seconds to switch between those. So that's definitely what I prefer. It's not any more weight, but it's a lot more functionality. This would be much, much higher as well. By the way, this is my Chameleon slider from Photon and the Varanus motor kit. It's pretty cool. I'll review that soon. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you want to support this channel, you can get yours from the links down below from Amazon, eBay, or B&H. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!